So how did Novak Djokovic become my favorite athlete of all time? I was thinking about the other day. I don't know why it came into my head. I'm like, I think Djokovic is my favorite athlete of all time. And I was thinking, well, it's actually an interesting story of how that came about. So I wanted to share because I actually did not like him at all when I first started watching tennis. And I don't play tennis. I've played tennis only a few times, but I became a fan of it because I had to do a project in high school, and it was about like someone who's the most dominant athlete. We had to make like a case for it, a narrative of the most dominant athlete or dominant something. I forget what it was, and so I chose Roger Federer because if you look at his statistics, it was through the roof. So I chose that. I never watched any tennis before, but then I watched tennis to get involved and I fell in love. So 2006 Australian Open was the first tournament I watched, and I've been hooked ever since. And I follow, but now Federer's retired, Nadal just retired. It's starting to, fade a little bit. But at the time, probably in the 2010 area, Djokovic came on the scene, and I did not like him. He was retiring from matches. He had a little bit more of an attitude, and he would be like arguing with his box and stuff like that. And he was known as a quitter, and he was kind of like this protege kid who had all the talent, but it didn't seem like from our point of view that he was putting out a full effort. That was just my take on it. And he was talented, but he just couldn't get over the hump, and you just didn't want to root for him. And that's kind of carried with him his whole career. He, against Federer and Nadal, the entire crowd would be against him. And he's world number one, and he's, the best player. And it's very strange. He's never really had that public appeal. So for me, what ended up happening was I started watching this guy, not wanting him to win, wanting Federer to win. Federer was my favorite player. And Nadal, it was that rivalry, Federer and Nadal. And then this guy Djokovic comes in, he starts winning. And the way that he won, especially one time against Roger at the US Open, he was down 2 match points and the whole crowd was against him. And he hits these 2 returns. He hits this return that is like, I'll never forget it. I was like, oh my God, it was this amazing hit. And then he turns to the crowd and is just like, okay, like, are you guys gonna like respect that? Like, I'm over here working my ass off. I've been doing it. At the time, he was still doing it, and the whole crowd is against him. And it's match point down, and I think this was a semifinal or something like that. Well, I don't think it was the final. And he, boom, hits this return, and it's this most amazing shot, and the crowd finally gets on him. Not 100%, but they get with him a little bit, and they give him that respect. And he started to really win me over then. I had already become a little bit of a fan because he started to win. And it wasn't, again, it's not just like, oh, I just want to follow winners. It's easier to like winners. Michael Jordan was my favorite athlete before that, right? Because he won everything. It was really easy to watch Jordan. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, it's easy to watch Jordan. It wasn't easy to be that big of a fan of Djokovic at first, but you liked his heart. He changed his diet. He started to not quit anymore. But the way that he played, he never gave up. And multiple times I saw him where he was down and came back, down 2 sets and came back, chasing after every ball. The effort behind it is something that you have to respect, whether you like him or not. The way that he plays the game is second to none. Then I started listening to him talk about his diet. I'm a big fitness guy, into health and fitness, so there's a connection there. Then talking about the meditation and the breathing and how he gets himself out of the way that he can do that in these big pressure situations is just through breathing techniques and the focus of just all out on this one point and resetting yourself. Yeah, you've lost 2 sets. Reset. What's cool about tennis is there's no time. So if you're down 2 sets and match point, and you have to win 3 sets to win this Grand Slam, match. At any point you can come back, no matter how far down it is. It's a big ask, but it's not like being up by 50 with 5 minutes left on the basketball court. You still have to play, but it's a formality. You're not going to win. There's just no way you're going to score 50 points. Same thing with like you're down 5 touchdowns. You're not going to come back with a limited amount of time. Yes, there's comebacks, but with a limited amount of time, 3 minutes, 5 minutes in a game, you're screwed. Whereas tennis, until that last ball is hit, the match is not over. Theoretically, at any point, you can come back. And I've seen him do things and I'm like, wow. And I started to gain his respect. Then we have these connections. Then I like the way he talks. Then something completely unexpected happens. And I was thinking about Muhammad Ali and how he stood up for something that he believed in. And I don't want to put Djokovic on the same pedestal as Muhammad Ali in regard to standing up for what they believe in. But in my era, right, I wasn't around for Muhammad Ali. I love and respect him. He's hilarious. He's done some distasteful things, though, that I don't like. And that's why he's not, one of my favorite athletes. I respect him, like I said, but he's done some other things that I don't think a lot of people know about. Maybe I'll make another video on that. But Djokovic stood up for what he believed in, and he did it with class. This was during the, event that we had, and he was being forced to take a shot to play in the Australian Open tournament. And it was crazy to me because he's the most winningest, I made a video on this, he's the most winningest Australian Open champion. I think the video was like, he should throw away his Australian Open titles. I know it's overreaction, but when they treated him like that, and I saw the way that he handled it, he didn't come out and go full heel. He didn't come out and say, how dare you, like I wanted him to do, right? So I'm glad he didn't, because he earned my respect even more. He handled it with class. Number one, you still don't really know where he sits in regard to his political views or his views on that health subject. He just said, I'm not doing this. And I really treat my body with this, respect. And I don't know. That's the only thing that he was saying. He didn't come out and say, I know all the answers and this is bad for you and you shouldn't take that. He didn't do that. He handled it with absolute class, and he still handles himself with absolute class. And what's funny is he ended up winning the Australian Open again after that. So how funny that they had to go through that, and they came crawling back to him. But he stuck to his guns, and look at it now. In hindsight, you're like, wow, right? But the pressure. So the pressure for someone like Muhammad Ali to fight, he ended up going to jail, which was crazy. But the pressure for someone like Djokovic is sponsorships, okay? Money, all right? The amount of money these people make. This is generational wealth. The guy's already, probably close to a billionaire, if not already. But what I'm saying is those opportunities that he can have to, again, do what he wants to do, improve his legacy. He wanted to be the most winningest Grand Slam champion of all time. He had to say, this is more important than that. He didn't know if he was going to get injured. He didn't know if he was going to be able to continue to play. Now, he ended up doing that. He ended up playing. And he also didn't know how long these bans were going to continue. So for him standing up for that and doing it with class, as opposed to, like I said, how I would do it, which would be like, you idiot people that don't know what you're talking about, forcing these things on me, especially because he's in this position, like, you need me a lot more than I need you. Right? I'll let you have it, all right, and see what you think about that. The class that he goes about his business, the class that he's had, but the way that he's changed, which I just don't see that in a lot of people, where they're super talented, they've got it all there, and they learn humility over time. They changed their diet, they changed their mindset, they changed their effort levels to be able to, again, achieve this legendary status and this greatness. And he's still doing it. He's playing, I'll probably post this video when he's playing. And he's playing in Wimbledon semifinal against some of the best competition that's almost 20 years younger than him, 15 years younger than him. And he's still competing with them and doing it with class and having fun and smiling, no matter what the public says about him, no matter how much he goes out there and he's not the favorite on the tennis court. There's still people that get behind other players more so than him for whatever reason. And maybe it's because of some of those things that he's done, that, like I said, maybe in the past, but also with, this medical issue that we're talking about. So I look at him as someone that I really respect, not just in the way that he plays the game. Every point matters. Doesn't matter how far down you are, you're still going to put out the maximum effort on every single point. But the way he handles himself with class, family man, got kids, been married to the same girl. I don't know if they've had problems or not, but hey, still, staying committed. And another area that I really respect, and he does it in the midst of not being this super, where people are just fawning over him. He's had these challenges and he still has it. He does it with a smile on his face. And it's a genuine smile. He has fun out there. He's always dancing and doing these things. It's like, how do you do that amidst like disrespect? Like I said, he in his head, what he was thinking in that Roger Federer match where he hit those 2 match points, he was like, hey, can I get some respect here? Rodney Dangerfield style. Like, that's all he's looking for. And he didn't let it turn into anger and hate and screw you. You know what I mean? He kept that smile. He kept that, composure through it all. So I look at Djokovic as one of my favorite human beings on the planet, although I've never met him. Just from what I've seen, I really like his character. And it doesn't hurt that he's the most winningest Grand Slam champion of all time and probably the best tennis player of all time. And I've seen the improvements in his game, the way that he plays. It's been really a treat to watch. I was blessed, got to watch Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic all play against each other. Throw Murray in there for a little while. Raised the level of tennis the entire game. I got to watch Messi and Ronaldo in their heyday. Barcelona, Real Madrid playing against each other. I got to see Jordan. I got to see Shaq and Kobe. I've seen a lot of great things in the sports arena, and Brady, right, in football. And for me, Djokovic is my favorite. So I wish him the best of luck when he's playing in these tournaments, and he's kind of coming to the end of his career, but who knows? All right, the guy's just an Iron Man, and I think a big credit is to how he treats his body. So interesting that's one of the controversial issues that he ended up having, but hey, the proof is in the pudding. Look at the guy. So that's why Djokovic is my favorite, and that's all I got for today. See you next time.